Hi, this is DOSBox Mom, and welcome back to Let's Play Gateway to the Savage Frontier. We've just finished buying our starting equipment at the armory across the street from our inn. I'm sure we'll be back here many times, if only to sell off loot we found elsewhere and upgrade equipment as we can afford it. So now let's turn. Come on, move. Okay, and we're going to go head across the bridge there in front of us. As you cross the bridge over the river, Cerbran, the people around you suddenly fall back in fear. You look around and record what you see as journal entry number 2, which we are flipping to now. There we go. We backed up against a stone buttress at the end of the bridge, waiting to see what frightened everyone so badly. A moment later they appeared. 2 riders in long black robes with hoods that hid their faces. They came round the corner behind the Temple of Timora, crossed the town square, and pounded past us at the gallop. We turned and watched the guards stand back as the 2 raced through the gates and out of the city. Slowly the people in the square resumed their activities, only now they were all in a hurry to be somewhere else. Okay, so now we can continue moving. Now directly in front of us should be the home of the Water Baron. That's the leader of Yartar. And if we go inside, the Water Baron greets you and you record your conversation as journal entry number 9. Welcome, adventurers! I regret that all your treasure and possessions have been stolen. If the city guard should recover any of your items, they'll be returned to you. I also understand you're in need of a commission, but I have nothing for you at this time. However, Yartar is a busy town filled with many people from all corners of the realms. Perhaps in the streets you'll find someone in need of help during these troubled times. Who knows? We just might. Okay, and we're escorted back out. Now, if we turn to our left, that building down there is the Vault of Yartar, where we can store anything we don't want to keep in our inventories immediately. And later on, we'll get a artifact called the Card of Counting, which will allow us to access stuff we leave at one vault from any of 3 vaults, kind of like a branch banking system. Now if we turn around and look down, there is the Temple of Timora. We don't need to go in there, but we do need to head that general direction. Okay, then this building over here, this is the city guard post. Boat rentals are just north of here on this side of the river. Ships to the islands leave from Luskan. Okay, we're not quite ready to get on a boat yet. But if we go down the street here, a sign beside the door to the west says, Friedhaus's Shop of Unusual Items. So this is basically your general store. Would you like to make a purchase? Yes, and basically they have your holy water, silver mirrors, and flask of oil. The silver mirrors are the most important thing because they will help us defend against gaze attacks. And yes, there will be monsters with gaze attacks later on. Let's pull what we've got. Okay, we might have enough for some silver mirrors. Okay, come on. And we'll just go ahead and try to buy silver mirrors for each of them. And this early in the game, there's no need to worry about not having room in the inventory for our mirror. Well, it just started. Okay, and okay, we still have, looks like a little over 200 gold left. No need to go spending all our wad in one place. And we're done there. I think I'll save that real quick. Can't really camp in the streets here, but save point would be good. Now, if we want to move, if we turn and go one more square south to the west here is a barge building shop set beside the river. You talk with the owner and record his comments as journal entry 11. I hope this panic about armies of orcs and trolls ends soon. We usually build 2 barges a month here. Now no one wants to send goods upriver unless they have to, and we have no new orders. The river going east was always dangerous, but now going south is bad too. Of course, the high forest is still far more dangerous than any other place in this part of the realms. So that gives us some hints about where to go in the wilderness and where not to go. At least not until we have to. Okay, and let's continue exploring. And let's go down this street to the east. Residential area. Several thugs have cornered a small, terrified man in an alcove of this narrow street. Do you want to help him? Sure. So our first battle. And notice this guy over here. Yep, that's the guy we just met. Notice when you aim, it doesn't go for the party members next to it. It goes directly to the first actual enemy, which helps. But we are going to have to Or you know what? If I take her a little bit closer, she might be able to cast sleep. I would have memorized Magic Missile instead, but she doesn't know that. She doesn't have that in her spell book yet. Hey, it actually works. And it took out every last one of them. That's great. Okay. Well, we can just stroll on up and have the rest of the party bonk these guys on the head, and this battle should be very easy indeed. Okay, well, she can't quite reach him. Apparently the splint mail... Oh, we don't need to unequip that. Splint mail protects like banded mail, but it must be heavier because our movement rate is only 6. Ah. Yeah, this is our paladin, and it's showing us that she has a permanent protection from evil effect on her. And that was it. Very short battle. And would you believe our cleric is ready for a promotion already? Probably can't afford to pay for it, but... And... Normally I wouldn't bother with non-magical junk, but this early in the game, we need all the funds we can get. And, actually, I think I'm going to have our mage thief take one of those long swords. I think she can use that. And let's see what Krevish can use. Okay, he's a fighter. He's got a short bow, chainmail. Yeah, we'll give him a long sword too. And then we'll just have our ranger take some of this stuff. We'll probably want to rearrange the party soon so that the people with the best armor are in front. Yep, that'll work. Gosh, thanks! The small man stammers. My name's Krevish, and, well, gosh, I'm so grateful you saved my life. He continues to talk, and you record his remarks as Journal Entry 21. I'd sure love to do something for you guys. If you're looking for work, I have some friends here in Yartar who hire adventurers all the time, and maybe they have something you could do, and that way you could get back on your feet again. I would have repaid you for saving my life, and we'd be friends, and wouldn't that be great? Do you accept his offer? Krevish smiles broadly. That's great! I'm glad I can help you guys. You record what happens next as Journal Entry 24. We followed Krevish around several corners and down an alley where we pressed a hidden panel on a wall. A door swung open, and after some hesitation we let him lead us into a dark corridor. Our weapons and armor clanked loudly as we walked cautiously down the passageway, finally arriving before a heavy wooden door. Krevish knocked on the wood in a complex pattern of beats with both knuckles and palm. And in a moment it was opened by an angry-looking man in well-crafted armor. Krevish introduces you to the gruff-looking man, but doesn't name him. You record your conversation as Journal Entry 25. The man looked us over for a moment, not at all sure whether he liked the idea that Krevish had brought our party to a secret lair. It's all right, Captain, Krevish piped up enthusiastically. They saved my life. They didn't have to do it. They could have just kept on walking, but they stopped and risked their lives to save mine. That's why you really ought to give them a chance to carry out a mission for us, because they really earned us a chance, I think, don't you? And we'll get back to this in the next installment. See you then.